Statistically reason you go down by a kick. Like, how do you reflect on it now?
Well, pretty positively. They're a really good side, and their form over the last month has been super. And they've come off a bye and nicely rested. So, for us to be 3 goals down or thereabouts, 20 points down at three-quarter time, and get ourselves into a position where we had a shot for goal that could have put us in front. Unfortunately, we missed and just levelled the scores, and then they were good enough to get the ball down the other end and kick themselves a goal. So, our goal all along is to be really, really competitive in games of footy, and I think there's only one game which is a really disappointing game for us against Carlton on Good Friday, but that's the only game that we've played this year where we've been out of the contest more or less, and so that's really pleasing. I think we're showing our supporters and those in the footy community that we're on the right path. We're disappointed that we didn't get the result today because, as you said, there's a lot of statistics that worked in our favour. Our inside 50s and our tackles, clearances, turnovers in the front half, all key metrics that you search for in a game of footy. And I just thought the Fremantle side, to their credit, were just a little bit more polished forward at the footy than what we were. We had numerous opportunities, but we just couldn't capitalise on those opportunities as well as the Fremantle side did, and that's what led to the victory there. Their conversion of some of those chances was just a little bit better than ours.
So 2 weeks in a row where you've had that last where we've charged home. What is it about the way you've been able to play there that you hope you can take into the rest of the game?
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to throw a little bit of caution to the wind when last week against West Coast we're 3 goals down as well, and there's part of you that says, well, if you're going to lose by 3 goals, you might as well lose by 5 rather than not give yourself a chance at all. So you play a little bit more recklessly in those situations, but you can't sustain that sort of reckless manner. You can't start the game like that and expect that you're going to be able to do that for the whole of the 4 quarters. So you've got to be able to, and the really, really good sides know when to go quick and when to slow it down, because you just can't play it flat out speed for the whole contest. But nor can you play slow, and so you got to try and find that balance. And by and large, we're okay at that tonight, and we're getting better at it as a side. But they're really, really experienced, and those sides that have played together a lot, like the Collingwoods, the synergy between their players, that's going to come with just playing a lot of footy together, and that's why they're sitting top of the ladder at the minute, and there's a lot of clubs chasing that.
That polish you speak about, Alistair, is that the next step for this group to be able to take advantage of the pressure and the effort that you put in tonight? Yeah,
well, I think we saw when Robbie Hanson came onto the ground in the third quarter, and particularly a couple of just 2 or 3 kicks. And that's what you see with the class of like a Bolton for Fremantle. When they get the ball centre forward, they're really, really capable of making good decisions with the ball and just be nice and composed, and then execute with their feet to allow them the best chance to take a mark inside 50 and give yourself the best chance to convert those chances. So, I think that's going to come with time. I mean, first and foremost, as a side, a big focus for us was just to get our inside 50s up. We've been averaging 45 inside 50s a game for the games to date, and to get 60 today is a step in the right direction for us. So we just think if we get enough volume of inside 50s, then the goals will eventually come. But we'd just like to have a little bit more polish as we go across the arc.
Cam Zerha got crunched 3 times today, looked in a lot of pain each time. How did he pull up, and what can you say about his bravery?
Yeah, well, he's nicknamed Bull for a reason, and he played like that today, and that's the game. It's a competitive game. He's as competitive as any. Put his body on the line for the side, and got knocked about a bit, but real trooper, stayed out there and continued to compete for us and give us a target, and he gains a lot of respect from our players and our club and our supporters, and I'm certain the opposition when you play like a warrior like that.
A couple of big efforts down back, got being Hardman on the line. getting a finger on that one, but O'Sullivan, who missed that soccer, had that fresh air, but then to get that fingertip on the one in front of Fredericks, a couple of massive efforts from a couple of young kids.
Yeah, we've been really pleased with, not only are we trying to get more inside 50s ourselves, but restrict the opposition. That was a key focus for us probably for the last seven or 8 weeks. And I think early in the season, the first 7 or 8 rounds, we were maybe averaging over 100 points against, and on average 60 inside 50s against for those early rounds, and certainly with a little bit more focus and around our defensive action and our system, we've been a lot better in that space. And I think before tonight, they were averaging about 76 points a game rather than the 100 points a game. So we've been able to pull that in with really strong effort and discipline to stick to some key principles of our defensive action. We've been able to pull 4 goals off opposition for a 7 or 8 week period now, and that continued again tonight. We kept Fremantle to 73 points, which is a great effort, only 48 inside 50. So that's really, really pleasing for us. But as I said, the opportunities that we had with 60 inside 50s, we'd hope that we kicked more than 10 goals, and we just probably left 3 or 4 out there. And they get the points and move on. We're disappointed with the result, but really, really pleased with the process. We went about it the right way. And if you get the process right often enough, it'll eventually turn into victories for you.
Do you think you win this game in Victoria if they had the trouble?
Oh no, we've always taken the view that, and this is a home game for us, so we should have had home ground advantage. But yeah, listen, there's goalposts at either end, and we've got a great supporter base, and we've seen them out in droves. It's been really, really pleasing to play 2 games on the trot and actually live in the state for 10 days and just connect with so many of the community, both in the southwest and when we got up here at Perth on Monday. And it's been great for our footy club. We had a lot of ex-players turn up. We had Simo and Danny Laidley come throughout the course of the week, and Winnie Abraham. We had the Marsh brothers, who not ex-players but obviously famous cricketers from this state and our country, and so to connect with all those guys and all our supporters, and a big contingent come across from Melbourne, both from our club to support the program here, and also supporters, and a lot of corporates came across as well. So it's a big investment by the club. It's a big investment by Tourism WA to take the punt and try and bring some more footy to this state, and we're pleased to be part of it. And did Fremantle get some sort of advantage out of the home ground? Possibly, but we gave ourselves every chance. And as long as we continue to play footy like that, then we're going to win games of footy no matter where it's played. And we gave ourselves a chance tonight and just couldn't quite get across the line.
Speak about that chance. You had something like 29 tackles inside 50, like off the charts numbers. What sparked that? What sort of brought on that pressure?
Well, tackle inside 50's helped enormously if you can actually get it in there a little bit more. Sometimes your numbers are low just because it's not in there often enough. And it ended up, even at the start of the game, the conditions were just a little bit greasy. I was walking out on the ground, even though the conditions were dry. The oval felt like it was only going to take a shower, and this is going to become pretty slippery. And then by the second quarter, it became really, really drizzly. Dried up a little bit in the second half, but when those conditions are like that, that's usually conducive to a pretty tight affair in terms of tackling and more difficult ball movement. I thought the two sides had adjusted to the conditions pretty well, but that was the quarter that they got the ascendancy in that second quarter, and they just a couple of balls slipped through key contests on the wing. They became 100-metre plays. They'd kick at 50, and there'd be a soft drop of the ball, and they'd pop out the back, and I reckon they maybe scored 4 or 5 goals over the course of the night from that method. So we need to clean that up a little bit. But by and large, we gave ourselves a chance to win and just didn't quite get there.
Just back on the grounds, it must be difficult rocking up to a different ground. I think you've played in 7 different venues in 9 weeks or something. There must be disadvantages to that.
Yeah, I'd like to be like the Pies and just play at the MCG most weeks. But it's funny. I ran into Pendle's. Scotty Pendle was on the plane when I came back from the Hall of Fame on Wednesday. And he was laughing about the amount that we've had to travel compared to the gifts that they get playing at the MCG on a regular basis. But that's, you know, the Collingwood side are able to generate their revenue from their crowds and their opportunities they get to play at the MCG, and North aren't in that position at this current time. So we need to get on the road and play our games, Tassie, in this case WA, and we're happy to do so. Because if we don't, you know, it puts the competition and our club in a perilous state if we can't balance the books, and that's an important part of every organisation, whether it's sport or whether it's in business. So, but we're happy to do so. And as I said, I don't think it didn't have anything to do with the ground tonight. We just, if we'd have got all the things right in our game, we'd have won this game of footy, and we just didn't quite get there.
Just quickly on next week, you've got Carlton again, who you've already said is the one game that's disappointed you. What do you need to see? What do you need to bring?
Yeah, well, we think we've changed a few things that we've spoken about, and that'll be the real test for us, just to see. I'm looking forward to see, well, how much difference have the alterations that we've made to the way that we play have improved from Good Friday to next week's game. So I'm going to enjoy having a look at that contrast and see how we go.
You staying in Perth to watch it?
No, I'll be going home in the morning, but we'll have a couple of supporters there to have a look, I'm sure. Good on you guys. Thank you.